Yachts for Sale video blog today brings you a yacht that's so new to the market it's not even been built yet. We'll be talking about who's building it, who designed it, and the reasoning behind why they thought that the market was ready for another yacht. I'm talking about the Columbus Liberty. Now, the yacht is actually available in a 33-metre version, which is shown here, and a 38-metre version that you can see here. Now, there are a lot of new yachts released onto the market all the time, but what makes the Columbus Liberty particularly interesting is that it's being built by one of the largest shipyards in Italy. Now, I'm talking about the Palumbo shipyards, and if you've watched the vlog that I produced earlier in the year, you'll know that Palumbo are actually quite new to yachting, but they've been around for a long time in the business of refitting and repairing cruise liners, ocean-going liners, and also of constructing some pretty big vessels. So when they put their mind to building a yacht, they get some pretty exciting results. This month, for example, they'll actually be launching 2 sizable yachts in just one day. Now, I've never heard of that happening before in the industry. One of these is the Columbus Sport Hybrid, which is a 40-metre yacht, and actually has a sister ship already built. And the other is a 57-metre customised super yacht. So there's little doubting that they can produce the results. Back to the Columbus Liberty though, the designer of the yacht is Marco Casali of 2 Design. If you take a look at his website, you'll see that he's a prolific and successful young yacht designer. Now, you can't just present a new yacht and hope that it's going to be successful because it's pretty. So I spoke to Marco last week to understand a little bit about the rationale that went on behind this yacht design and why he felt that there was space for it on the market. Marco was keen to state that the concept behind the yacht is to bring the owner and his guests closer to the sea. Now, that's not just a glib marketing line. Let's just take a look at the smaller 33-metre as an example. Just look at the amount of deck space. First of all, here at the bow, you can actually get 8 or 9 people in that seating recess there, which, by the way, is a wonderful secluded space for sunbathing or for your guests if you're having a cocktail party. Moving on to the Flybridge, you may prefer to call this a sun deck. There's plenty of space for sunbathing here too, but once again, that is a dining table for 8 people, just to give you an idea of perspective to appreciate the size of this area. The crowning glory of the yacht, though, has to be the design of the transom. The aft deck is huge, but just look at that clever design of a plunge pool in the middle, in between the sunbathing cushions. And just below that, there's a split-level beach club, which just has to be a magnificent place to hang out in between swims when the yacht's at anchor. To further understand the benefits and the advantages of the Columbus Liberty though, it's good to take a look at some other yachts of similar sizes that a buyer might be contemplating when he weighs up one against the other. First of all, the Ferretti 33-metre Navetta. Now, the Navetta is built from GRP, and yacht builders use this material because they can produce a large number of identical yachts by effectively popping them out of moulds. The good side of that is that it does bring the cost down, but the bad side is that you really can't ask for too many changes to be made because that's going to upset the production line, it's going to be expensive, and to be quite honest, often the builder will just refuse to do it. The Columbus, on the other hand, is made from aluminium, so the yacht offers a very high level of customization. Now, we've spoken about a 33-metre model and a 38-metre model, but actually if a buyer wants the yacht to be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, then the shipyard are very happy to do that. Now, that's something that would just be unthinkable with a production yacht builder. I should add that I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the Navetta 33-metre. As a matter of fact, I think it's a fantastic yacht. But the fact is that if a high level of customization is a big priority to you, then the Columbus wins, hands down. Another major difference is found here. Now, as the yachts go up in size, it's always more likely that they will have this third deck. Usually this deck offers a second lounge area. It's often called a sky lounge. The Columbus, on the other hand, is true to its mission to allow the owner to enjoy the sun and the sea, and it offers this huge sun deck instead. Now, this is an important point because by reducing the interiors of the yacht, the shipyard also reduces the cost to build it, which in turn reduces the price to the buyer. And in fact, the 33-metre Columbus has a price that is significantly lower than the 33-metre Navetta. Let's move on to another yacht of a different kind, but still very popular. This is a Sunseeker 34-metre. Ferretti have something very similar to it, Azimuth do too, and other production yacht builders do as well. Once again, it's built from GRP, so it doesn't have the same level of customization. But in this case, the yacht doesn't have that third deck or the sun lounge area, and it does have a lot of space for sunbathing. The major difference between this kind of yacht and the Columbus, though, can be summed up in one word: performance. Typically, a yacht such as this tends to be built for a good top speed. Now that means having bigger engines and a smaller range. The bigger engines, of course, are very expensive. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of euros or dollars for these units, and the range of the yacht is quite limited. Columbus, on the other hand, uses smaller engines, and it combines them with a Siemens ecoprop system that's extremely popular in shipping and supplies a remarkable range. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a Sunseeker 34-metre. If you're not too concerned about customization and top speed is important to you, then the Sunseeker 34-metre, the Ferretti 112, the Azimuth 116, they're all wonderful yachts to buy. But if fuel economy is an issue for you, then just take a look at these figures. The Sunseeker 34 has a top speed of 26 knots, a cruising speed of 22 knots, and at cruising speed her range is about 440 nautical miles. The Columbus 33-metre, on the other hand, has a top speed of 22.5 knots, a cruising speed of 19.5 knots, and the range at cruising speed is 1,000 miles. Now, it's true that you can eke out a 1,000 nautical mile range from a Sunseeker too if you go slow enough, but the fact is that the yacht's not designed to go slow, and you didn't really buy it to go slow either. The Columbus, on the other hand, if you slow down to 8.5 knots and you use the hybrid system, has a range of 6,640 nautical miles, so more than enough to cross the Atlantic, for example. So it all depends upon what you're looking for in your yacht. Personally, I'm very excited about the Columbus Liberty because I do believe that that's the direction in which the yachting industry is heading. All of those comparison yachts that we looked at have price tags well in excess of 10 million euro. Frankly, if I was spending half that much money, I would want the yacht to be built exactly the way that I want it to be built. So if I want an extra cabin, or one less cabin, if I want to extend the galley or extend the length of the hull or reduce the length of the hull, within what's possible with naval architecture, of course, I want that to be done. Well, production yacht builders just aren't able to accommodate that kind of request. Palumbo, on the other hand, are. They have a very high level of customization, fantastic range, good fuel economy, but because the interior volume of the yacht is more contained, and because they're not spending on the huge engines, the price that they ask comes in well under the 10 million euro mark for the 33-metre. So that's a little about Columbus yachts and about the Palumbo shipyard. There's a lot more to tell you than just that, so if you have any questions, please do write them down for me in the comments and I will answer them as soon as I can. And if you enjoy yachts and you enjoy yachting and like to be kept informed and up to date, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.